So we've got a major problem in this country. 10,000 baby boomers are retiring, actually turning 65 every day. And this is happening for the next 16 years. These are our grandparents, parents, and maybe even some of you. And this baby boomer market is huge, but they don't really have the access to the type of investments they need to have a comfortable retirement. At the same time, mortgage originators are looking to expand into other types of mortgages, particularly non-QM or non-qualified mortgages. One segment of this type of the mortgage market is self-employed borrowers. And these self-employed borrowers are people who, the only anomaly that they have great credit. The only thing that's different about them is they don't have a W-2 income. And just because of that, they're considered non-qualified. And this market is huge and growing. So what we've developed to kind of answer these kind of issues is something that we call the Primo. And the Primo is something that we developed that we would be comfortable selling to our own parents. Something with a return of 5+%, backed by a hard asset, and something that has monthly income. And so this is how it works. One of these self-employed borrowers or a non-QM borrower goes to one of our lending partners looking for a mortgage loan, and let's say they get the loan. We'll review that loan, and if it fits our strict criteria, we'll securitize it and put it on our platform as a Primo. And investors can invest in any one Primo in increments as low as $100. So Primos are really superior to other types of fixed income investments for a number of reasons. The biggest, the ones that we see, are they're fully transparent, so you can see anything about any of your investments at any time. They're backed by a hard asset with low default risk, and they're high performing with 5+% yields. So we kind of looked at Primos versus some other fixed income assets that are on the market and kind of, on a risk-adjusted basis, realized that what we offer has a much higher yield than some of those alternative fixed income investments. And so we think it's an awesome thing for this baby boomer market. So through our patent pending technology, we've developed an online platform where investors can come, check out In Command, check out Primos, learn about how it works. If they're interested in going further and want to actually buy Primos, they can go into our purchase process. And when they go there, they can decide, I want to invest across all Primos, which is this example, or they can customize a portfolio of Primos. And they can see any detail that they want in any of the Primos that they may want to invest in. So for example, here you can see, at the highest level, they can see our proprietary Primo rating, the yield of each Primo, the FICO score, the down payment of the borrower, and even where the mortgage is located. And then at the top, they kind of see a summary of their whole investment and the actual net return that they're going to receive. So we've looked at a number of competitors in the space, other real estate focused or marketplace lending type companies. And what we figured out is that In Command is really the only one that's focusing directly on the needs of the baby boomer market. So we work with a number of mortgage originators to help us source those mortgage loans that we work with, that we then securitize into Primos. We've also worked with Sidley Austin, one of the top and best rated law firms in the country for securitization, to manage the kind of complicated regulatory environment, make sure we did everything the right way. And we've also got a number of other partners that we work with for things like mortgage servicing, marketing, and public relations. So I mentioned our proprietary platform. This is an example of how the back end of our platform works. It's called Flash. And basically what that does is it tracks all of the mortgage processing activities as well as the fractionalization of the loans that we work with. So we've put together an awesome team of executives to kind of launch In Command and make sure that we meet the goals that we have. First of all, we got Vincent Phillips. He's our CTO, and he developed Schwab's first online trading platform. We also have Brad Walker. He's one of our board members. He was Pensco's expert in marketplace lending. And then myself in the middle, I was the head of marketing at Prosper. We've also got a team of developers located in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we've made a lot of progress over the past couple of years. We've raised $1.5 million in seed funding. We've raised a small fund that we use to purchase the mortgages that we work with, and we've also have about $2 million in sales to date. We've won a number of awards and have participated in a number of shows and accelerators. And so what we feel within Command is that we're well positioned to take advantage of this huge market that I talked about earlier. We're 100% investor focused. We are the only platform focused on the baby boomer market, and over the past couple of years, we've fully proven our initial business model. So what are we going to do next? So we're going to continue focusing on sales directly to accredited investors. We're also going to expand to sell to accredited investors through registered investment advisors. We will also drive scale through selling to institutions to kind of bulk up on our scale. And eventually, in the next 2 years, we want to be able to sell to full retail, so to fully democratize the availability of Primos to everyone. And then in the long term, we want to expand our product line to include other hard asset-backed products. And this is really kind of our vision for the future. So we are currently raising $8 million in Series A equity, as well as a $50 million debt fund. And that $50 million is exclusively to be used to purchase the mortgages that we securitize and turn into Primos. So that's what I have to talk about. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Okay.
What's the mechanism that, I'm hearing about how you want to get to the channels, I guess, you're not going directly or marketing directly to the baby boomer segment, but you want to go to RIAs. What's your plan? I mean, that sounds like something top off.
Yeah, so what we've done initially to kind of get the word out as a startup, obviously when somebody's putting a decent amount of money and investing in something, they want to know that the company is going to be around for a while. So our strategy early on was to do a lot of public relations. So we were in the media a lot. We're still in the media. We write articles. We've gotten to be known as subject matter experts in real estate and securitization of mortgages. And generally, and through social media, putting all that stuff out in social media and things like that. That was our initial way to attract customers, kind of directly. In terms of expanding to the RIA market, we haven't done this yet. That's on our next stage. But what we want to do is hire somebody who has kind of those relationships. We have a couple of preliminary ones through our own network of people that we know. But this is really a great product for advisors where they have a hole in their portfolios. We've talked to many advisors, and they all feel like this is something that they really want to do. The only expense, I think, initially for that would be hiring that actual salesperson. That would be really their full-time job going out to do that.
Excellent. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Thomas?
How is your company any different from Citadel and any of the other companies doing non-QM mortgages?
I'm sorry, what was the company you said?
How is your company any different from Citadel or some of the other companies that are doing non-QM mortgages?
Yeah, so we actually don't originate the non-QM mortgages. We work with non-bank lenders who actually originate them. So those companies are actually, similar to what you're talking about. The difference that we do between what's available now, generally when things are securitized from those kind of mortgages, they're doing giant pools, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars of pools of mortgages, where they may or may not be very transparent and maybe blended in with other things. We do the opposite. We securitize each individual mortgage so that it's fully transparent to everyone, and you kind of put together your custom portfolio where you know exactly what's in it. It's not like somebody else deciding for you.
Are these just for owner-occupied or non-owner-occupied?
These are only owner-occupied residential mortgages. Yep. Yeah, pretty basic, 20% down, skin in the game kind of mortgages, high credit, quality borrowers. Yeah. That's right. It's the automation of that whole securitization, fractionalization, in particular keeping track of all those micro kind of fractional pieces of the mortgages and making sure that everybody gets their money on time. It's not done on blockchain. We've looked at putting it on blockchain, but we haven't done that yet. Yeah, so he was asking what's the spread that we take from the note rate on the mortgages and how do we make money? So basically, we take a small strip of the mortgage. So let's say the mortgage is 6.5 or 6.75% of these type of mortgages. We take between 75 basis points and 100 basis points, and then the rest goes directly to the investor. So when somebody sees that on our site and they see they're getting a return of 5.5 or 5.75 or 6%, that's net of any fees. And that money we take every month when the monthly premium and interest payments come in from the mortgage. Yeah.
How can you satisfy investors? So like, in the financial advisor, once they put the money into your fund, they're going to want to return immediately. So how can you satisfy that? Still being able to originate quick enough to generate that return and make it profitable.
Yeah, so basically it's relatively simple. I hope I'm answering your question right. But basically every month when the principal and interest payment comes in from the mortgage, that's immediately distributed out to the investors, right? Is that part of what you're asking?
So the money is once you have a mortgage that's ready to be originated, or you have your money ready to go.
That's right.
Once the originator comes, you get the money.
That's right. So for us, I think I know what you're asking. So I think you're asking, we need money to buy the mortgages. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Maybe I'm not.
You need money to originate it, but
Yeah.
you need to have the money in advance. But the financial advisor is going to want to have basic returns ready to give that money.
That's right. So if the investment advisor is coming and investing in our platform for their investors, for their accredited investors, those primos or those mortgages are already on our platform. So they're already fully originated, they're already securitized, they're already there and available for them to get. So it's immediate. They put their money on and they get the return right away, starting that day. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So because we're not the originator, the originators that we work with have the money to originate the loans. I mentioned at the end we're raising $50 million in debt to be able to purchase the mortgages. So then we purchase them from the originators. When they go on our platform, when we sell them off, obviously we get that money back, and then we have more money to buy more mortgages and kind of turn that over. So we have a plan, depending how quickly we sell the primos, then we're able to turn that money over and use it for more mortgages.
Excellent. Let's give a big round of applause for Keith.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very
Before
much.
you go,